it is the release of Black Ops 7. And Black Ops 7 is looking very, very, very rough. So I want to talk about it with you guys tonight. We have, oh my god, we have everything from the most insane, crazy, weird, just non-Black Ops style storyline ever, to AI, actual AI slop in it, to reused assets to copy and paste, to an always online campaign where you cannot even pause it, to more. So you guys got a lot to look forward to in this video. Without further ado, let's get into it, because oh my god, I don't know what Activision is doing. Guys, I don't know what they're doing anymore, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're gonna get into it. So I started by seeing this tweet from a random guy, you know, I'm by the way, I want to preface this video. I am an OG. I grew up on Black Ops 1 and 2 and 3. Like, I grew up in that era of Black Ops. This is all the way in the OG days. You know, I love those games. So I'm not taking any kind of like weird perverse pleasure in just pointing out that this game is bad. I'm not doing that because I want this game to be good. I want Activision to knock it out of the park when they actually do so. But in order to do that, you have to call out the bad. So that's what we're doing right now. So I started by, you know, just seeing this random tweet from a random guy about Black Ops 7. I'm not gonna lie, this campaign looks unfathomably ass and stupid. That it looks hilarious. Legit the Sharknado of COD. And I was like, that's the kid, is that right? How is it is that correct? Wait a second. There's no way, right? There's no way. So, you know, I took a look at the video. And the voice in the background, the player.
What the fuck am I playing, bro?
The what the fuck am I playing, bro, is just absolutely perfect. It's just absolute art. It just perfect timing. And it's just a natural reaction. I don't know how you turn into a giant machete. I love how the sound cuts out as well. And the giant machete is flying to the ground as like some special move. And the guy bursts into blood with this weird, like, you know, it kind of looks like an AI texture. Look how shoddy this looks as well. Like, it's not like they're just going for like some sci-fi vibe. It just looks bad. Like, what is this, man? This looks terrible. And I was like, it can't get this bad, right? It's not. Like, yeah, because I remember the trailer. I remember the trailer of COD 7. And I was like, yeah, the trailer looks a little weird, but not bad. It kind of looks like they're going for like some Inception vibe. There were some scenes in the trailers that was just like, all right, this is in Arlington National Cemetery. Right? I mean, the guy who made this tweet showcasing this part of the trailer was like, you know, I hope the campaign is at least decent. Maybe this will end up being okay. No, it was not. It was not. It gets worse. Not only is the campaign looking weird and everything, you also cannot even pause on solo. And this is where I got really interested. And I was like, wait a second. Is this a generational crash out? Is this a Concord level, potentially, crash out in terms of the breadth, in terms of how much money was put into the game, what is expected of the game, what is expected by the audience of the game, and compared to what the actual product is? And Concord was one of those. Assassin's Creed Shadows was one of those, in my opinion, as well, where, you know, it's not like, you know, studio ruining or anything, though it's pretty darn close. For Shadows, Ubisoft has gone on a really big issue, and I will cover that. By the way, if you want to hear that, let me know in the comments below really quick. Do you want to hear more about the Ubisoft situation? Because there's some crazy news going on there. If you do, let me know. You know, going back to Black Ops, this is like a Concord level situation, at least in terms of the expectations of the game. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Activision, every single game that they make costs hundreds of millions of dollars. They make a new one of these almost every single year. By the way, I think making it every year is why we're having these problems. Not only that, you know, Concord cost $400 million. It ended up making zero money. It ended up making negative money. So, you know, this is maybe one of this levels of situation. You can't pause on solo, which is insane, first of all. So we'll get back to that, but there's plenty of issues with this campaign. So according to IGN, the story campaign in Call of Duty Black Ops 7 has numerous restrictions tied to its always online nature. So that's apparently why you can't pause. With no method of pausing levels. You can also be booted from your game if you idle too long. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. One might think that this sounds pretty bad. But when I say it gets worse, I'm not kidding. It actually gets worse, and I'll show you. So, you know, basically, they're not wrong. It is always online. You can't pause, and that is like, you know, we've had pausing in games since literally the NES. Since literally MS-DOS, you could pause. Like, there are so many, like, the original games you could pause, like, all the way back. The Nintendo Entertainment System, you could pause Mega Man. You could, well, Mega Man 2, I don't know, I'm not sure about 1, but you could definitely pause Mega Man 2. You could pause, for sure, like, you know, any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. Those are considered some of the hardest games of all time, back on the NES. There's so many games, even when, like, the difficulty was, like, super high, you could pause those games. So why can't you pause Black Ops 7? So they go into it here. They talk about it here. Basically, the game was designed to be an always online thing. And I remember when people pushed back against always online with, like, normal things. You know, way back. It wasn't even that far back when we had the Xbox, I think it was the Xbox One. And it was the big release for the Xbox One, and they were going against the PlayStation 4. And the Xbox One came out with a reveal that was so bad at E3, and they were like, "Yeah, this is going to be always online. You know, you're always going to have an internet connection to it and everything like that." And you know, rightfully so. Back then, a lot of gamers who still had balls, they pushed back, and they were like, "Wait a second, this sounds terrible. Like, how? I can't, like, you know, play offline. I can't, like, you know, unhook the internet and be able to, like, play a single player campaign, things like that." And they were like, no. And PlayStation 4 came out, and they were like, "Hey, by the way, you can turn off your internet here. You can play offline. You can do whatever the hell you want. There's no DRM on our games." This was back when PlayStation, you know, had some sauce, when Sony had some sauce, and it ruined Xbox for like a generation. Like, this level of crash out for the Xbox One was like such a huge turning point for Xbox in a negative way. That, by the way, is when the at the time CEO, his name I can't remember, got fired from Xbox, and Phil Spencer took over, and he tried to, like, rehabilitate the image and everything. And fast forward to now, always online, you know, never being able to pause or anything like that is just the norm in Black Ops under Phil Spencer. Wow, how the turntables. But the always online nature, IGN, of course, you know, as games journalists always do, they don't actually talk about the entire issue, of course. So, you know, games journalists are always behind. So this is not even the entire problem here. The other problem with the campaign in Black Ops 7 is that it's always online, designed to be always online. When you're playing the game, random people can just hop in your game. And I found a little bit of evidence for this. So this is just a random guy playing the game. You know, Mason's talking. It's a cutscene. It looks like, you know, it's a very, like, you know, emotional scene.
Who are you and why are you in my game?
This random guy is just in his game. He sees the pop-up, probably, you know, the other guy, the original guy who made this video. And he's, this other guy is just randomly there. He's like, why are you in my campaign? I don't know, man. I just don't know. And it kind of at least is like, you know, it's not like a negative interaction like that, but it is very, very, very weird. And people talk about it in here in the comments. I had this happen as well. 3 dudes just randomly started yapping. It's just like, you know, I'm sure that was the most fun you had in the entire campaign, no lie, considering how bad the rest of the campaign looks. Yep, exactly. It just gets like really, really insane. There's another video here. So, let me just turn it up. This is another example of just like randomly people just hopping in the campaign. Let me also turn my music off for a second so you can hear.
Razor, son of a bitch. Where is he now?
The team hasn't seen him in hours. Marshall.
Just randomly people talking. We got Goro Majima here, just randomly yapping. And it's just, it just gets hilarious.
Is that you?
Why are you in my game?
Why are you in my game? It is the most ridiculous dogshit design I have seen in an online game. Sorry, a AAA game, not even an online game, and a AAA game in absolute years. This is not like, you know, this is not like you're playing Arc Raiders and you turn on VoIP and you're like, hey, the game is designed for this. Let's talk to each other, you know, PV, PvE, all that stuff. This is not one of those situations. This is not like you're playing Tarkov and, you know, there's a guy around the corner. You're like, hey, you still there, buddy? It's not like one of those. This is randomly in a single player campaign, though I guess, you know, Treyarch and the designers of Call of Duty now just don't even know what single player means anymore. But yeah, the gameplay itself, all well beyond that, gets worse. So this is an actual area where you're fighting with the zombies from Call of Duty Zombies, going off, fighting things, basically running against a whole bunch of machine guns and stuff. And keen-eyed observers who grew up on COD like I did, you may remember this looks a little familiar, and it does for a reason. This is indeed Vorkuta, the prison with Reznov from Call of Duty 1. The other problem with the Call of Duty campaign for Black Ops 7 is that they just reuse half the fucking stages from previous games. And not only that, they ruined it. Now, what is all this shit? It's do you remember that meme? Oh my god, hold up. Let me see if I can find it. That meme where it is people complaining about Elden Ring. Way back when Elden Ring first came out, a whole bunch of people that were game designers for like Ubisoft and everything like that was like, wow, how can you have a UI that's this empty? And someone, you know, took that to heart and decided to make a meme of adding all of the UI slop that are in open world games. I'm talking the Ubisoft games, I'm talking EA and all of that stuff. And they just added it into a screenshot of Elden Ring. And it was just like, this is the future that they want to see. Let me see if I can find that Elden Ring UI meme. Here it is. Immediately here it is. Oh my god, if Elden Ring was made by Ubisoft, it's just, obviously it's just like, you know, you got the, I'm gonna move my head for a moment, you got the mini map over here, you got all the question marks on and off the map. I mean, it's the enemies detected, press X to activate target sets, but like, this is obviously a joke, right? Like, this is definitely an obvious joke. But you take this joke, and you apply it to Black Ops. Increase your movement speed, power upgrade, fast movement, exclamation points, mission updated. I mean, I guess, like, this is okay. You're seeing your health and you're seeing your teammates and everything like that. You got a mini-map. You got giant, like, ammunition symbols on the map. You got this. You got... Oh, my God. Dude, this is unironically the meme. Like, I don't even know what the fuck this is over here. Like, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. It is shocking that they took one of the most perfect scenes, one of the most perfect stages from the early Black Ops, and they're like, hey, let's take this and just make it infinitely worse. Just completely, infinitely worse. Just all through. And they do this apparently in Black Ops 7. They recycle also the Nicaragua map from Black Ops 2. They recycle the one where you have to protect the president in Black Ops 2. They recycle the Woods Container Rescue in Black Ops 2. And obviously the Vorkuta map from Black Ops 1. And that's not even the end of it. They recycle more than just that. But those are... At what point is it just like, you know, an homage to the past? And it changes just to like... This is recycled, copy and paste dog shit. That is the real question here. That is the real question here. The campaign, though, it gets worse. It gets worse. There's another scene from the campaign. I'm going to turn this off because there's a guy talking in the background as well. This is just a random guy, a Black Ops lover, you know, someone like me who played the OGs and just like, you know, well, let's play a cool campaign. This makes no sense. And it's not
Did
like...
she just fucking turn into Captain America? Did she just turn into Captain America?
And by the way, it's not like she has a shield. It's not like she picked up, like, you know, an armor plating and did it. She just blocked that with her robot arm. Now, why does she have a robot arm? Who is this? Who knows? Who knows? But, like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, half the shit is hitting her face. It just doesn't matter. They did not even try to make this make sense. And also, what the fuck is this huge hand in the background? Don't worry, we'll get into that. If you're wondering what that even means, do not worry. But, like, yeah, she's just tanking the hit. This is... This is almost comical, man. This is almost comical. Here it is. I was looking for the, why is there like a giant dude? The first game in the series used footage of World War II battles and massacres. The second was about MK Ultra. This is back when Black Ops was good, by the way. And now, this is a boss in Black Ops. He's a big, giant zombie man that is half robot, red glowing eyes, like, you know, 200 feet tall, and you gotta shoot missiles at him. He hits the ground with his hands, yelling, "Rah!" Like he's a Dark Souls boss. I don't like, you know, the subscript was apt. We used to have a game about World War II. We used to have a game about MK Ultra, about Vietnam veterans going through PTSD, you know, fighting off their demons to save the world one last time. And now we have this absolute fucking dog shit slop. But wait, there's more, as the saying is from Marlon Wayans from Scary Movie. It gets worse, guys. I don't know how I can keep saying it gets worse in these videos, and then it just keeps continuously actually getting worse. Activision had a statement apparently on AI usage in Black Ops 7 because it got, you know, people saw some of these pictures and they were like, wait a second, this looks like AI. And these are like random, these are in-game screenshots, by the way. And these are like the little like achievement tabs kind of thing. You know, everyone's like, huh, this kind of looks like that AI meme where, you know, people took their own real life pictures and they used an AI filter. And they tried to make them look like they were from the Miyazaki movies, like Spirited Away and stuff. And this kind of looks like that. Well, there's a reason for that. It is. It's literally that AI filter. Like so many around the world, this is their statement, by the way. This is Activision's actual statement. We use a variety of digital tools, including AI tools, to empower and support our teams to create the best gaming experience possible for our players. Our creative processes continue to be led by talented individuals in our studios. I just want to point out that I made a video, and I'm gonna post. I'll show you the video right here. It's my most recent video, right before I'm uploading this, second most recent, and it was on Arc Raiders, talking about the great AI debate here. I don't know why my page is not loading. Let me refresh the page. Yeah, there it is. And this is about Eurogamer giving this game a 2 out of 5. Arc Raiders, one of the most highly, lauded multiplayer games of the entire year. Everyone's been loving this game. Everyone's been playing the hell out of this game. And Eurogamer gave it a 2 out of 5 because it had an AI filter for voices for accessibility. And it also used AI voices, but they hired actual voice actors. And they were like, hey, we're going to pay you to train the LLM that we're using so we can, create AI voice models with your voice. We're paying you for it. It's all above the table. And we are going to be using this because we're a small studio, and we're going to be creating new maps, new areas, new POIs, new items, this, that, and whatever. And it's just, it's just going to be a lot. We'd have to bring you in. Now, personally, I think they should have just hired the voice actors to come in every single time that they need to add something new. That would be me personally. But they are a much smaller studio. This is not Activision. This is not Activision Blizzard. This is not Xbox. This is a much smaller studio. It's like a 50-person studio or something like that made Arc Raiders. And they're working on developing the finals at the same time and many other games. So, there's a little bit of a different situation. And with all of that nuance that I just put in, an AI voice filter is something that has to be AI, frankly, at this point. With all that nuance, 2 out of 5 by Eurogamer. But this game, everyone is completely okay with. I wonder what Eurogamer gave Black Ops 7. Let's see. Eurogamer Black Ops 7 review. 3 stars. 3 fucking stars. So the one that is using generative AI assets, generative AI for probably the storytelling at this point as well. Half the animations in the game look like generative AI. Remember, one of the first videos I just showed was this. This just looks like AI slop. It really does. This looks like AI absolute abysmal dog shit slop. So how much AI did they use in this game? We don't really know the extent yet. They haven't really talked about the extent yet. But we definitely have AI used for very, very prominent achievement tags in the game. And who knows what else it'll be used for. And this is the same Black Ops where Black Ops 6, they got, dinged for using AI to make their skins, to make their graphics, and so on and so forth. Activision is all in on AI. And this same fucking company, Eurogamer, gives the actual AI company fucking 3 stars, 1 star higher than fucking Arc Raiders, which deigned to use it for a relatively understandable reason. Even if I don't agree with the second reason about, the pings, at least it's a bit more understandable. But no, Eurogamer gotta suck the dick of Activision and give it 3 stars instead. Absolute fucking dog shit. Absolute fucking dog shit. But yeah, and dude, I remember when you used to have, people bending over backwards at these large companies, passionate, trying to create good fucking games. And they're being drowned out by AI. Activision, Xbox, Microsoft, this is with them. Actman calls it out as well. Being a fan of Call of Duty makes me feel genuinely embarrassed at this point. We are finally getting some pushback from the biggest voices, and biggest and smallest voices, just random people as well. People are actually pushing back against Black Ops. They're finally pushing back against Activision, because I can't tell you how fucking sick and tired I am. I've talked about this on stream. I talked about this in previous videos. I talked about this in my Black Ops 6 preview all the way back. You can find that very, very easily. I'll link it in the description below if you want to see it. This is way back when I was, rose-tinted glasses even. But I was still, looking at it with a critical point of view. Being like, guys, Black Ops 6, and this is a year before Black Ops 6 came out. This is the first big trailer at Summer Games Fest, which, used to be called E3, where they first revealed Black Ops 6. And I said, guys, I can't tell you, and this is, 2 years ago now? I can't tell you how sick and tired I am of hearing COD bros being like, boys, are we back? Are we back, boys? Are we back? And then the game ends up being fucking dog shit. And Black Ops 6 at least had a decent campaign. So, it wasn't all bad. And then they added, the ability to play as Homer Simpson, and have, fucking weed guns and, a bong rifle and random characters from American Dad and so on and so forth, Beavis and Butthead in the multiplayer. Beyond all of that multiplayer dog shit, of which there was plenty, at least Black Ops 6 campaign wasn't, filled with AI. And now it is just worse. Call of Duty, I don't know where he got this from. It's obviously a tag from some article. I'm not entirely sure where. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is littered with AI art slop because your $70 doesn't mean anything anymore. And it's so true. But I'm actually seeing pushback. Random guy, Bricky, he's a YouTuber, I guess, apparently, pretty big one. I finished the entire Black Ops 7 campaign, asked for a refund, and Valve granted it to me, which is pretty insane. That means Valve knows that there's a significant... Valve only does this, by the way, when there's a huge pushback against the game. When people are, trying to refund it in droves, when everyone is super disappointed in it, when something like a Concord happens, is only when they issue refunds well after 2 hours. Until 2 hours, you can refund any game. But after 2 hours, it takes a lot to get that refund. I wrote, the game constantly utilized AI-generated options that were not present in the marketing for the game, as well as videos and screenshots of the material. Shocked they did, TBH. I'm not shocked. Valve cares about your user happiness. They care about if you're happy as a gamer. So if you accuse a game, rightfully so, and it's correct, and you're not lying, that this game, it didn't say, hey, we made our game with AI. Also remember, on Steam, you have to label your games as AI. And so if they don't market it and say, hey, AI is in the game, you play the game and you're disappointed AI is filled to the brim of the game, and you write that in the refund, Valve would be like, you know what? You have a point. All right, we'll give you the refund. They don't care because they want you to be happy as a Steam user. They don't give a fuck about Activision. They don't give a fuck about Black Ops. They care about Bricky, the YouTuber, who is a gamer and bought games on Steam. And that is why they did the refund, by the way. So props to Steam for that. But it's actually insane. Is the AI stuff marked on the store page? It actually is. So according to this comment over here, it actually is. But I guess even if it is labeled, if you talk about the extent pissing you off as a player, they'll give you the refund. Interesting note. I mean, I'm not saying you should refund the game. I'm just saying you can refund the game. So this is yet another we all know Mutahar. We already know some ordinary gamers, and he makes a great point. Take me back to this. Makarov, remember? No Russian. This is back when the game had the sauce. When this company actually cared about making games. Random fucking tweet in the comments, same vibe. And it's the Lego Avengers game. But the problem is, the Lego Avengers game, you would expect to see something like this, right? When you're fighting, someone also compared it to Arkham Asylum when you're fighting the Scarecrow. And the giant Scarecrow running around and your Batman basically going through what amounts to a Metroidvania. But the problem is that that made sense in some level. And sure, you could have that be a level in Black Ops as well. That one boss. This one boss doesn't ruin the game. It's just all of these things combined. the AI art slop, the copy and pasted stages, the giant wacky boss, the fact that in the boss when you're fighting this guy, you turn into a machete. You turn into a spinning machete as a special move. What is this game? It's just like, constantly you look at these things, you're like, what the fuck is this game? This is the ending to one of the previous Black Ops, where you end the game. I'll play it just for nostalgia. You're flying, you're swimming through the water. You just saved the world. You're Mason. Weaver picks you up.
It is over.
It is over.
We won.
We won. We saved the world. And then you got the badass music playing in the background. You got choppers flying. You got the American flag. Everything is normal. There's no giant zombies. There's no craziness. Ironically enough, Weaver goes on to fight zombies in the Black Ops canon, which is what is going on. This is like one of the last times we normally saw Weaver, by the way. Like, who here, if you're watching this video and you're a Black Ops fan, who here remembers OG Weaver? You're like, man, what happened? What happened? You see the jets flying. You feel like such a badass in this, man. And you feel like such a badass Black Ops soldier. I completely forgot. Black Ops 7 came out when I posted this. Anyways, play Titanfall 2. Oh my god. It is hilarious. And more people are calling it out. People are like really going hard against this, man. I'm so happy to see actual pushback. So here's another little post. Halo might have started to lose its way, it says may have lost its way. I think it's like, it's having issues, but there's still hope for Halo. Everyone, true Halo fans, we still have hope that they're going to turn it around, right? But it'll never compete to what COD has become. This is what it looks like when a franchise forgets what its identity is. This is then. This is now. Man. And then you have like comments of being like, it's still popular, core gameplay is the same, people don't really care. But I just want to point out that I think people are actually starting to care. Because if you look at the Steam charts, Steam DB for Black Ops 7, it is not even in the top 10, which is insane for Black Ops. I mean, Counter-Strike is always in the 1 million range. Arc Raiders at 431,000. Battlefield 6, its direct competitor, Call of Duty's direct competitor, is sitting at, right now concurrently, at 6 p.m. on Saturday. So this is the big first weekend, right? 262,000 players. Shit, man. And you get Call of Duty at 90,000. 90,000. 58% reviews. 58% reviews. People, like, this is as close to shitting on the game as a general community that Call of Duty, I think, has ever been. In fact, let me go to their Steam page. I'm just curious about their Steam page. Can I link to it here? No. Steam page. I just want to see what some of the people are saying. Let's get the voice of the people. Bad. Game is bad. Feels so cheap, yet charges full price. Launch game. Restart requires update. Relaunch game. Select Black Ops 7. Game close to open Black Ops 7. Updating shaders. Finally play the game, only to realize your time is still being wasted and you also wasted $70 on top. This game is terrible. Whoever thought of a co-op campaign, terrible idea. You can't even pause the campaign in campaign mode. Like, what the fuck? Constant packet bursts on lowest settings makes it unplayable. And like, people are just talking about the single player. They're talking about the multiplayer. They're talking about the cutscenes. They're talking about the giant spiders and insects. A tree made of Frank Woods. I mean, it's just insane, man. It's just absolutely insane. Look at what they ruined. Look at how they massacred my boy. Look at how they massacred my boy. Zero hype, shitty zombies, terrible story, AI calling cards, uninspired maps, recycled content, a lot of it, by the way, live service bloat, which has already started, and Treyarch fell off so fucking hard, abysmal fucking dog shit. It is actually crazy. This came out, this video, a couple of days ago. And this is a video that's been, making the rounds on the internet. I think it was first shown, like, last week by Elon Musk. And, of course, he highlighted it because he's an AI, he has his own AI, so he loves AI. I completely disagree with it. I think, AI, generative AI is dog shit. And he tried to showcase this, and so have other people that are, like, huge AI slop fans, of, the future of AI games. And it's like this random video with some of the worst fucking gameplay possible. You're looking at this, none of this makes sense. Things are popping in and out. The train, like, goes forward, and this, like, fucking, like, staircase pops out of the back. None of this makes sense. It looks like absolute fucking slop dog shit. Right? But the problem is that this reminds me of Black Ops 7. I'm watching this, and if you put, like, Menendez in here, and he's, like, giant, and he's red, and he has glowing eyes, and the flying machete, it fits right in. Like, I'm just pointing it out. It fits right in here. Like, let's go back to it. Let's just show it again. The giant machete. I feel like I'm looking at two sides of the same coin. It's insane. And I want to end with this. This is a random tweet. This is not a YouTuber. This is not some big content creator or anything like that. This is a guy who's named Rooster Actual. He's a mod and broadcaster, retired vet, patriot, father, nerd. He has, like, I'm not saying this in a negative way, but he's not like a big content creator. He's 175 followers, right? This is as close to a true blue OG Black Ops player as you can find. This is my point. This is not Mutahar. This is not the Act Man. This is some random OG. This is an OG. And this is his comment. I just wanted to highlight his comment. Unfortunately, I think we're way past the best age of COD. We get our hopes up every year, and they'll ease into doing a few things right, but do 3 other things huge wrong for each right in the process. I don't think we'll get any glimpse of our Call of Duty back unless Activision steps off a bit and allows the devs to be creative and do what they want and give them timelines that work for them. And he actually has a fair point here, because I want to point out that Treyarch and, the other devs at, Activision and everything like that, they have to make a new one of these games, like, almost every year. And this kind of timeline is something that has ruined Pokemon. It's ruined Call of Duty. It's ruined countless other games where you are just, constantly churning, and you're not able to think up new ideas anymore. You're not able to give a game a level of polish that it needs, or anything of the sort. And it's just like, how is it a shocker that the series has fallen off of a cliff? How is it a shocker? Any game that has this kind of, almost any game series that has this kind of timeline, it's going to end up being all kinds of dog shit. And we saw this a little bit, for a time period with Resident Evil as well, where, you had a string of, like, 5 Resident Evil games just coming out year after year after year, and there was, like, some of the spin-offs and everything like that. And, those are the dark days, right before, what's it called? Resident Evil 6 came out, where it was kind of like the worst time for Resident Evil in a lot of ways. Before they, after 6 came out, and ended up being, like, super hated and everything like that for very good reason, or at least very mixed and quite negative, they decided to reset, take a step back, redo the entire formula, and they created Resident Evil 7, which revitalized the entire franchise. I think that he, Rooster Actual has a pretty damn good point here. Having the timeline of a new game almost every single year is too much, especially when it's a game as big as Black Ops, especially when it's a game as big as Call of Duty, especially when it's a game as big as Pokemon. When I made my Pokemon video, I talked about this exact same issue with Pokemon ZA being abysmal dog shit. And how is it a surprise that ZA became such absolute fucking dog shit? By the way, definitely check out that video if you want, because it's a really good video on the entirety of this situation, but in a different series. Where, if you make a game every single year, year after year after year after year, and they start being bad because you don't have enough time to polish the game, make it a really good game, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And we are in that situation now. Anyways, going on, what they did to Treyarch for Black Ops 4 is what started this downhill slide. Man. True, so true. Call of Duty is just a different game with a different formula now. And I think we're far overdue for Activision to take a step back a bit, maybe take a year or two off, and give one game continuous support in that time where the devs can work on an actual creative solution to reboot the franchise as a whole. We don't need 20 Black Ops Modern Warfare games. They don't need to run all the same engine and UI. They don't need to be connected. And if they do a post-launch support properly, they don't need yearly releases. Just let the devs be creative and listen to us and give them the time and freedom to do good. This is just a pure, perfect comment. An absolute pure, perfect comment. And I actually followed Rooster for this, because this is just one of those things where it's just like, this guy just absolutely gets it. This guy just gets it. He's a real OG. I can understand this type of situation. And this is not some hater. This is not someone like, who makes videos with nothing but negative reviews or anything like that. This is a guy that loves the series. And he wants to see Call of Duty come back. He wants to see Black Ops do good. I'm the same way. I grew up on these games in the OG days. I take no real pleasure. I take some pleasure because I always like to point out when games are bad, but I also would rather see, and I've stated this from the very beginning, I would rather see games be good. I would rather make videos like I do, talking about indie games all the time about how good they are. I would rather, talk about Arc Raiders' success. I would rather talk about Escape from Duckov being one of the most peak indie games of the entire year. I would rather talk about Dispatch being an absolute genius game with perfect writing. I would rather talk about these things. I would rather showcase Arc Raiders, really cool gameplay, the claustrophobic nature of the new map, and so on and so forth. I would rather talk about that every single day than talk about how basically we ended up with Activision making the biggest AI game of the entire year. That's the problem. Anyways, that's my entire discussion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think about Black Ops 7? What do you guys think about all the gameplay that I showed? All of the discussions, all of the random comments from large creators and small OGs, people that aren't even creators. What do you guys think of being able to just randomly hop into a campaign of a random dude and just yap during a cutscene? What do you guys think of a, single player campaign that you can't pause? What do you guys think of AI art assets being prominently used all over the game? In achievements and skins, so on and so forth. What do you guys think of all of that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you guys are huge Black Ops fans especially, I would definitely want to hear from you. Do you guys think I'm off basis? Do you guys think I'm being too harsh? Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I need to take the bowl of shit and start shoveling it down my throat. I don't know. I don't think I do, though. I think I do. I genuinely think we're in the rare situation where people's thoughts are actually changing. Where the COD fans, where the COD bros are like, wait a second, we deserve better. I want to hear the COD voices rise up and be like, you know what? No more. No more of this, Activision. I refuse to buy this game. I want to refund this game. I want to get my $70 back, Bricky. I fucking Dude, I don't know Bricky. I've never watched his videos. I salute you, Bricky. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Absolutely good for you. Standing up on business, sending a message. And by the way, publishers look at Steam pages. Publishers, like this mixed review, 40, oh my god, wait, whoa, what the hell? 43%. We're about to get into negative ratings for Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and it's just gonna get worse, boys. It's just gonna get worse, man, because like publishers hate seeing this. This is like an absolute bitter pill for a publisher. A public Steam page getting like absolutely shit on like this. There's a reason that Steam reviews have such a strong effect on video games when they're bad. When you see a bad video game, you shit on the Steam page, all of a sudden the publisher and the game developer are like, oh god, we gotta fix this now, because now people are paying attention every single time it happens. So I think, continue giving it negative reviews, continue shitting on the game publicly, continue showcasing the actual gameplay. Do not attack the devs. Don't say, oh, you're a bad person. Don't, threaten, their lives. Don't do stupid shit like that. It never helps. But do highlight the actual gameplay of the game. Highlight the absolute actual issues of the game. Continue making tweets. Continue memeing the fuck out of them with abysmal dog shit. So on and so forth. Continue doing that. And maybe, just like we saw with Escape from Tarkov when they added pay-to-win dog shit in the game 2 years ago. Or like you saw with, Helldivers 2, when they tried to add the PlayStation Network and ruin the game for, most of the entire world, until they finally fixed it a couple of years later. The situations where games can turn and get better are innumerable now. It continuously happens. Believe in the community, believe in the game, that it can get better. And because you believe in it, shit on the game as hard as you possibly can. As publicly, as loudly as you possibly can. Give this video a like, give it a comment, raising the algorithm so more people see it. Share it with your COD bros. Share it with your friends. Share other people's videos with your friends. Share all of the people shitting on it together. Because the more visuals that all of these get, the more vision that all of these, negative feedback loops get for Activision, the higher chance there is that they'll actually fucking fix it. Maybe at some point. And if they don't, they'll die as a company. And that's okay too. It's not what I want. I would rather see the game fixed, but I would rather for sure not see dog shit like Black Ops 7. That's my discussion. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And thank you for your time. Catch you guys in the next video. Do not worry. We got plenty of great videos coming up. I got plenty of good reviews coming up. We got plenty of upcoming indies. We got plenty of upcoming big games as well. A little bit of everything. So keep an eye out and definitely check out the Arc Raiders discussion, because I think you guys will really like that. If you guys like the nuance when I was talking about AI and how it can be used relatively more ethically, or in Black Ops case, completely not at all, no ethics at all. It's just absolute dog shit. You might really like that video, and I'll link that for sure in the description below as well. Catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.